Hello again, everybody. This is Derek from ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com, and I'm coming at you today with an end of the year video. This is a recap of what we did in the year 2012, kind of like just to remember all the good times and all the bad times, and just to kind of remember, what we did, and if you missed something, so you can kind of get an idea of what we did here at Screaming Eagle or at 4C. Before we get started here today, I do want to put out a shout out to my loyal team members and friends on 4C, the ones that accompanied me to games this year and that stayed loyal to the team. Ripcord's a great friend. We went to Fulda Gap together. We had a great time. Fresh, he's awesome. I love him to death. Hawkeye, he's a great guy, and he's great on the team and a valuable asset. And then we have Gunner. He's probably my all-time best friend in the world. Got to put a shout out to him. And I also want to put a shout out to a friend that's overseas in Afghanistan right now, Fuzzy Monkey. Now when Fuzzy Monkey gets back, I'm sure he's going to be extremely active in Airsoft, and the team can hardly wait for him to come back. So Fuzzy Monkey, come back safe. I also want to put a shout out to some of the fields in the area. I only played about 3 fields in the area. There are a few others that I haven't had a chance to try out yet, but I love Bad Karma. Bad Karma, you guys do a great job down there. It's a great field, great atmosphere, good players down there, both on the green and the black team. I think you guys are awesome, and I wish you all the best, okay? Now, there's a couple of other fields that I really do enjoy playing at. Springfield Airsoft is a good field. It's just that I just really never have a chance to go down there. I wish I did have more time to go down and play on Springfield. I just don't. I can really only go about once a month right now, and so I've been picking, if I had to pick one, I picked Bad Karma and went to it. But I love you guys down at Springfield, and I think you guys did a great job on building that field. I just wish I had more time off. I could come down there to Springfield too. And then there's Dixon. Dixon's an awesome field too, but it's just in a different direction, that's all. And it's indoor, and I play later at night, and I think you guys do a good job down there too. So I love Dixon, and everybody that I've played with down there seems to be pretty cool. I just want to say that those are the 3 fields in the area. I know there's a few other fields, and I suppose that a lot of the same players travel and play at different fields. So I'm sure they're just as good. I just haven't had a chance to go there. Also, I want to put out a shout out to some of my distributors that send me product and help me get my product out to the consumer. Evike.com. You guys are great. Everything I get from you guys is in good shape, and it seems like I get that stuff quickly so that I can turn it around and get it to my customers, and I really appreciate all the effort you guys do there at evike.com. Also, I got a couple other distributors that I go to when I need something that these other guys might not carry. It's Vertex Airsoft out of Texas. You guys are awesome. You guys do a great job. I get my stuff in a timely manner, so I really appreciate everything you guys do for us. And the last thing is DP and Company out of Florida. You guys are awesome, and I get a lot of my lower end stuff from you guys. Like Springers or my LP AEGs, I get those from you guys usually because you guys have awesome prices. So I love you guys down there at DP Wholesale and Vertex Airsoft, and of course evike.com. You guys keep my shelves stocked, and I appreciate that. 4Z has played in a number of games throughout the year. We've even traveled. All the games have been great games. We've taken friends, we've taken co-workers, we've even gone as far as North Carolina, to play at Fulda Gap. Now, if I had to pick one game out of all the games we played at all the different fields, I would have to say that Fulda Gap in North Carolina was the most enjoyable game. That game was it was the hardest game. My body was breaking down at the end. It was extremely mental, it was extremely physical, and I just enjoyed that game. It was a long game. We played Saturday and Sunday. We slept overnight there, Friday night and Saturday night. It was an awesome experience. There were thousands of players there, a huge field, and it had hills and cities, and I think that game was the best. And I plan for our team to go back to that game every year. Okay, I think that game was just too cool with tanks and everything. Force Z did have a couple of disappointing things, but the one most disappointing thing that happened to Force Z this year was a World War II game got canceled. Okay, we had a World War II game scheduled. We were going to do Operation Market Garden. You know, some circumstances came around that we just couldn't run the game. You know, there's a lot of players on Force Z that really like World War II, namely Hawkeye, Gunner, and myself were the big World War II fanatics on the team. We just couldn't play the game, and that was unfortunate, you know, that things had to transpire where we couldn't actually host this game. We're going to reattempt it again, maybe in 2013, and see if we can't get that campaign rolling, okay? Now, since this is a Screaming Eagle Airsoft video and not a Force Z video, I'm going to talk about what happened this year at ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. Now, our we have a different playlists on our YouTube channel, and one of them is Know-It-Alls. Now, Know-It-Alls is when we get out and we try to impart knowledge upon our viewers and show them a little bit about airsoft that maybe they don't know, maybe they do know, maybe they just need to see a different way to do it or something like that, right? It's just, and we might be doing it wrong, and then by watching us you'll learn the way not to do it, okay, or whatever. But it's basically, we call that know-it-all, because hey, you know, I'm a know-it-all. The most impressive know-it-all video that I think I did, the one that I was the most proud of, let's say, was painting Multicam, okay, by the numbers. Okay, go look that video up, you know, painting Multicam by the numbers, and how that, like my airframe helmet, how it turned out, and my mask, how it turned out, is just awesome. I cannot believe how good that turned out. It was just, it's the most impressive. I mean, I did a bunch of know-it-alls, you know, but they're all basics or, you know, this or that, but the painting Multicam by the numbers, wow. It was just, it came out spot on, you know. The Multicam paint job looks just like my Multicam jacket. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Okay, I do have to put out a shout out to one gear company out there. I personally own a lot of their gear. I did a lot of reviews of their gear, and that company is Condor Outdoor. Condor Outdoor makes a quality product. I'm even wearing a Condor hat right now. The Condor Outdoor, and I'm wearing the rigger belt. You know, I wear that rigger belt every frickin' day, every day. I think there was one day this year I didn't wear it when I bought it. After I bought it and reviewed it, there's only been one day I haven't worn it. That's one of the best items. Okay, that was another thing. Some of the best items from Condor Outdoor was this hat. Actually, was one of the best because you know what? I don't know if you saw the video, but I did a Condor Outdoor tactical hat is armor video, and that was mainly because I ran into a steel wall. The steel wall, it was not flat. I mean, steel like chop. It could have chopped into my skull, and it was sharp and rusty and jagged, and it was horrible. You know, my head was down. I wasn't looking down. I was trying to duck under it, is what I was doing, but I was too stupid to get too low enough, and I ducked down, and it hit me right on the top of the head. And this hat, I think it saved my life, actually. And then there was my plate carrier. You know, I was pleasantly surprised. I was doing a review of the plate carrier by request. Somebody wanted to know a little bit about the Condor plate carrier, so I went ahead and pulled it out and did a review on it. And after I did a review, I mean, as I was doing the review and talking about it, I fell in love with this thing. I was like, wow, I didn't realize this thing was that good, you know? I mean, Fuzzy Monkey uses a plate carrier, and I was laughing at him all the time. I was saying, yeah, you wear a plate carrier, you're crazy. That's just too much weight or too much, you know, it's too rigid. He even got the King Arms fake plates to put in it to make it sturdy and rigid, and I was like, what are you doing? I mean, what are you trying to do? Now, he's just trying to be as realistic as possible. He said that the plates hold everything in place so that he can get to his gear, it doesn't move around on him and stuff, and I'm okay with all that. That's cool. But I was like, whatever. But I said, okay, I'm going to do this review because somebody asked me to do a review. And as I was doing the review, I was actually looking at it. I was wearing it. I was moving around with it. And I was like, wow, I really like this plate carrier. So this Condor plate carrier was so awesome that I went ahead and switched from my Condor operator's harness to the plate carrier, and that now my plate carrier will actually hold my hydration pouch in the back, and without having to have the straps going over my arm and, you know, pinching me here. There's a molly right here, so I can attach like my radio or a grenade or whatever right here, where all I had before was just like across the stomach where I would have my magazine pouches. But now I do have my magazine pouches here, my radio, my grenade, and there's not these straps just here, you know what I'm saying? And now I did wear the 2 side plates down at Fulda Gap, right? And I said, okay, I'll just wear this whole thing and just cruise around in the woods, right? Well, after a couple of hours of wearing that, I realized I don't even need the sides, because all I was doing was carrying like tactical snacks in my side pouches. So I was like, okay, let's ditch these. I took those 2 side pouches off. Oh my Lord! It was like a front and back vest, and with just a simple buckle strap that went around the sides. I fell in love, man. I will not change from that. That setup was so awesome. I can't speak highly enough of that plate carrier. I'm just not going to use the side panels, that's all. You know, if I have to, I have the side panels, so if I want to put them on, I can do that. Like if I need this extra molly landscape, I can do that. But usually I don't have that much stuff on me. And that's one reason why I didn't think I needed the plate carrier, because I really don't have that much stuff. All I've got is a couple of pouches, you know. I think it's better to go lighter, you know. I don't think it's smart to go completely, you know, geared out completely 100%. So that's why I was opposed to the plate carrier in the first place. But once I started using it, and the fact that it held my hydration pouch, that was like 99% of the reason why I like it. Because it has I can molly weave my hydration pouch on the back, and it kind of pulls down on the back, which lifts up on my magazine pouches. It kind of balances it out. I mean, it was just awesome. Okay, there's a couple of videos out there. I do reviews all the time, and there was a couple of videos that were pleasantly surprising to me. That these are the most surprising item reviews. The Thunder B, right? The Thunder B grenade. It's an extremely loud blast when that thing goes off, like 130 decibels when this grenade goes off. I mean, you know, I watched other people use it, or I on video, and I've looked at the product specs and stuff like that, but I've never actually used it personally, you know. So I was like, you know, whatever. It's just another one of those grenades that, you know, you toss in a room and blow people up, you know. No, this thing is just too awesome. You know, you can buy a grenade out there. I don't know. We'll say a Tornado or something like that. It might be like $100. I know it's not probably that much, but it's pretty close to $100, right? How many times am I going to throw a Tornado? You know, I'm going to throw it maybe once a game, twice a game, something like that. So what am I throwing it? 10, 20 times? You know, a year? You know, so 10 or 20 times a year. It costs me about $1.50 every time I throw it, because it uses up a 50-cent CO2 cartridge, and it also uses up like a $1 shell that you have to screw on. That shell bursts and breaks, and the CO2 cartridge gets punctured, and all the CO2 gets expended, right? So I figured if I throw it 20 times, that's only $30, you know? So I have that Thunder B for 3 years. It's the same as having the Tornado, you know what I'm saying? And I've only had it for a year now, and I haven't gone through a dozen. If I need it, I've got that Thunder B, and I've used it a few times, and the guys, when I use it on them, they know that they've been grenaded, because when that thing goes off, it's like boom, and they know it. And so every time I've used it, I have no problem with the guys calling their hits, because they know. Now, do I fill it with powder? Do I fill it with BBs? No, because most of the fields that I play at, the rules are if a grenade goes off in the room, whether a BB hits you or not, you're dead. So I don't put any BBs or anything in there, so it doesn't even cost any BBs. We're like, some of these other grenades, like my Snicker, right? When I toss that, it bursts and BBs fly everywhere. But that's unnecessary, because it doesn't matter if the BB hits you or not. You can only use it indoors. Now, if I was in a field, which I haven't played at yet, but if I was at a field that allowed you to throw grenades outside, burst, and if a BB hits you, you were killed, then the Thunder B would be useless. Or I'd have to fill it with BBs. Thunder B. I was super impressed with Thunder B, how easy it is to use, how easy it is to, how realistic weighted it is once you get it loaded up and everything. It feels good, it's solid, you know, and it's just awesome. Okay, and the other review that I was really impressed with on the ease of use was my Avocado. I thought the Avocado was going to be so complicated and hard to use. I was going to plug it in, I was going to get all freaky with it, and you know, I was going to change my rate of fire to something that I don't even know what I'm doing or whatever. No, it was easy. I plug it in, pull the trigger a few times, and boom, I got it set. Sometimes, I mean, I'm even, while I was on the field and I'm moving to contact or whatever, I could reset it on the field, and so I wouldn't have any problem setting it. I mean, it's like, you know, it's so easy, and it's great on ammo conservation. I found that with my high rate of fire, right, if I'm shooting around 20 rounds per second, just pulling the trigger for 2 seconds, that's 40 BBs, okay? And you think that's a lot of BBs, right? Well, with an Avocado, I could set it to 10, you know? And no matter how long I hold it down, I only get those 10 shots. How many BBs do you need, really? You know, most of the time I was leaving it on 6. You know, I was thinking 6 is a pretty good, you know, number, tactical number. Shoot, and if I had needed more, I'd just pull it again, and I'd get BBs downrange. Detects when your LiPo is low, and it'll beep at you and let you know that you need to change your battery, because you know that if you drain your LiPo all the way out, you're actually damaging your LiPo. You're supposed to not drain your LiPo completely 100%. So I thought the Avocado was just the most awesome item. Not the most awesome item, okay? There's a ton of items out there that are awesome, but this was the most surprising on how easy it was to use and the benefits that you get out of it. It was just, I think it's just great. All right, now, throughout the year, we did some hysterical videos, some stupid videos, some videos that you're like, why did he even do these videos? This is stupid. This is not even an Airsoft. This is an Airsoft channel. Why did he put these videos on there? Well, it's not only my Airsoft channel, but it's also a way for me to express myself and to just put stuff out there into the world. Now, you guys, if you don't like what you're watching, just turn it off and, you know, come back the next day or whatever. But like, I'll do video game reviews, or I'll do playthroughs of video games on there sometimes. I don't know, I'll do skits, you know. I even sang on one of my videos. You know, some of those videos are stupid, but the one that I had the most fun making was when Loadouts speak, okay? I did an interview with my Loadouts. Basically, I asked each of my Loadouts why that loadout was in Airsoft. Like, I did a Stargate SG-1 loadout, I did a Multicam loadout, I did a World War II loadout, I did